private pay because I'll have to go back and learn how to do everything. It may take, it won't take too long. You can edit and record things and stuff.
Camcording really is maybe you do it just like 50%.
I have to email James about what kind of microphones they use for their cameras. Could it be the same kind of camera? Rebel. Just to know.
Use it for video or just
And the mic that we have doesn't really work too well, so we'll use messages.
you don't do that or I don't know if I can if I've got that.
There's a guy that shoots a video for us. I'm going to ask him. He's a really nice boom mic. He actually maybe too much for what?
Well, it depends on what you want.
From the state.
What do you want? Do you want like interviews?
For interviews, yeah.
Background?
Just interviews for clear sound, which is will help a lot like the main right now. Is have very
It's got new batteries in it, right? No, I'm just.
No, it is. It's and it doesn't. I don't like that these cameras. It shoot scary. Shoot yeah, but they shoot good video. I mean, like this is what creators are for their commercials. And then they have really nice lines. It's way more expensive than this, but probably costs more than the actual camera. So or I'm in a big headquarters. What's that?
Audio coming from that mic?
That mic's the audio for Sarah's camera.
Oh.
Because it's a cleaner audio than shotgun mic.
I think it might have
No, the ones with the folders have, yeah. I took that one from all the way back here. I didn't bring the hook. Are you taking a breath now? You just got your telephone and everything?
No, it was so fun. I never wanted that night to end. It was just
stuff like, it's cool, yeah. Yeah, now we're on to like a million other things, like rides and, that's what we're something. Oh, very cool.
Well,
Yeah, it's, you know.
Hey guys, we're going to get started in a couple minutes. Thanks for your patience. I know we're a couple minutes behind, but a couple minutes and I'll have everybody up here and we'll be ready to go.
No, I mean, he did it at Robert. I was like, yeah, yeah, that day, he was already on. She wanted your legs, and they hold it right. Know what I mean? She's like, what kind of work did you do? Yeah, I actually don't you were really funny.
can I sit in a chair?
Ask a lot of questions. Make sure your box is turned on. Turn on the flux capacitor.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. On behalf of the Peoria Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, we are proud to welcome the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open to our area. Being the first national tour in Illinois, we are extremely excited to host. It's truly a remarkable event for our area. It's going to bring in so many visitors, so many players, so many remarkable people and talented individuals, and we can't wait to have them visit our area, see all we have to offer, and truly enjoy the Peoria area. Almost every U.S. state, as well as 3 additional countries, will be represented in this event. So, to the thousands of people coming, welcome, have a great time. And with that, I would like to welcome and introduce Matt Gregoire, the Media Manager for the Professional Disc Golf Association.
Hi guys, I'm Matt Gregoire, as she said. I just want to start out by thanking Peoria. I've been here about 24 hours now, and it's already been really great having the chance to have the tournament here. They've done an amazing job accommodating everybody. And you know, with, what is it, 9 courses, 8 courses being used, all around 10, all around the city. That's really hard to organize, and it's really hard to feel welcome at every place that we go. And so far, it's been wonderful. For those who don't know, disc golf, or commonly called frisbee golf too, it's a sport that is growing at a rate that we can barely even manage right now. We have more members in the Professional Disc Golf Association than we've ever had before. Roughly 27,000 active members right now. We're coming up on 80,000 total members. We're growing at about 25% a year right now. So it's really exploding, and it's exploding on an international level. As she said earlier, we have players here from several countries. We have players around us that have played in several countries this year, including Australia, Finland, Sweden. I know last year they were in Japan. So I always like to point that out because it's not just the United States. It is huge, and it is getting huge everywhere. We also have St. Jude representatives here. Hi guys. They're the charity partner for the event. For those who don't know, we put on a event partnered with them earlier in the year in California. Our members and disc golfers around the world raised $250,000 for St. Jude, which is unbelievable. And also, I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about, to anyone here who doesn't really know what disc golf is, it is a sport very similar to traditional golf or ball golf, as some of us in this sport call it. It's played in public parks on courses that have, generally 18 holes. The holes have pars, just like in traditional golf. And the biggest difference is we don't hit a ball into a hole, we throw frisbees into a basket that was designed to catch them. Unlike traditional golf, frisbee golf is much more accommodating to, I think, to families and to anybody who really just wants to get out, be out in the woods and not have to spend a lot of money on green fees. And I think that's part of the reason why it is growing as quickly as it is, because you don't have to have much more than a frisbee and some people to play with. And you don't even have to have people to play with, actually. I'm sure a lot of these guys would go out and practice by themselves. That's actually it. What I wanted to do now was introduce the guy who's put this whole thing together with an amount of work that I can't even imagine. I think we got emails from him at like 4 in the morning last night, just to give you an idea. Nate Heinel, the tournament director.
Wow, thank you for all for coming to the press conference and coming to the event. The Peoria area has been phenomenal. All the cities that we're hosting courses in have been great. Park districts have been phenomenal. We couldn't have done it without, especially the city of Peoria, the city of Morton, the city of Pekin have been phenomenal. Thank you for all for supporting the event, for coming out. Thanks to St. Jude for being involved, and we're thrilled to support them this year. Just thankful for all the players that have come and all the sponsors. It's been a long 22-month journey when the PDJ first contacted me, and this was awarded in October 2013. I was driving in Pennsylvania. I kind of had a little party in my car, and my mind has been spinning for the last 22 months designing all of this, and to see it come to fruition is a joy for me and just a lifetime dream to be able to host 700 people in this wonderful city. And as I said, we're just so grateful for Peoria, for the Convention and Visitors Bureau here has just been so welcoming and helped me every step of the way in terms of, I said, let's do a press conference. And I said, I don't know anything about it, so you guys have to do all the work and I'll just show up and talk. So they've been great, and it's great that I have these great players here. I'll give a couple quick introductions here and I'll sit down and you guys can ask questions. So this guy here, Nico LaCastro, he's our two-time Ledgestone champion in 2012 and 2014. He also won the United States Disc Golf Championship in 2009, and so Nico is a phenomenal player. Glad to have him back. He is originally from St. Louis, Missouri, lives in California, I believe now, right, Nico? So, so Nico here. This guy here, in the blue-green shirt, Mr. Paul Macbeth, he's okay at disc golf, so I believe he's won 4 consecutive world championships. In the most recent world championship, he was down by 7 strokes after the first couple rounds, and he shot back-to-back course record rounds and was leading by 8 after that round, I believe, Paul, right? So yeah, he's okay. So 4 consecutive world championships. He is from Huntington Beach, California. He has 9 total majors, and if he is successful in his last major of the year, he'll have won all 5 majors in the same year, completing the Disc Golf Grand Slam. So to say that he's even the Tiger Woods disc golf would be an understatement, considering that he has won 16 of the 19 tournaments that he has entered this year. So, so yeah, Paul's also won 14 national tour events, and I believe he still has a lot of good years ahead of him. So enough about Paul. You can ask him questions and he can give you more of his great accomplishments. So but Paul is a great player, but most importantly, he's a very, very great guy as well. So, and then over here I have 2 wonderful ladies here that are just great ambassadors for the sport. Katrina Allen here, she has won my tournament twice actually, and so she's only played it twice, so she's 2 for 2. Katrina also won the world championship in 2014 last year in Portland, and she won the United States Women's Championship as well. And so Katrina Allen is from Madison, Tennessee. Great person. I'm so glad she's here. And then over here, Paige Pierce. She is 3-time world champion. She won 2011, 2013, 2015. So she is, right, Paige?
Yes.
What's that?
Only odd years.
Only odd years. So Kat says her years next year, so 2014, 2016 for Kat. So, but Paige has also won the U.S. Women's. She's from Plano, Texas. She's a great ambassador for the sport as well. Just a phenomenal story about how she won worlds this year in terms of her incredible sportsmanship when her closest competitor was ahead 7 strokes, and she was in a car accident before the second to last round. And you know, per the PGA rules, she was late to the course. She was penalized for doing that, and Paige ended up winning by 1. And Paige was very emotional about that and gave Sarah her trophy. So just phenomenal act of sportsmanship. I was watching live and I had tears in my eyes, and so I don't even know Paige that well, but it was incredible. So we have some great people here, and with that I'll stop talking and sit down, and you guys can ask questions, and I'll let Matt be the MC. So.
We're really hoping, if you guys have any questions you want to ask Nate, you want to ask me, you want to ask the players here, you can ask me about my tournament play, but it's not going to be fun. Does anyone have questions? Anything?
My microphone's at the podium, so I don't know if they can come up to the podium, but if they can just kind of talk a little bit about who's played here in Peoria and what the Peoria area courses, what makes them unique or special.
I think I'll pass that over to Nico since he's won this tournament
Sure.
twice.
Okay. Why don't you, can you go up to the podium?
Can you go to the
We all-
podium?
yeah.
Both mics,
That
sorry.
works, that works best.
Might have to hold this.
You just put it
Is it
down.
good enough for that?
That's fine, thank you.
Yeah, so I've been coming to Peoria for a while. I actually got my second ace ever over at Morton Park, the Northwoods course. So I'm from the Midwest originally, so I know that disc golf is growing everywhere. But in the Midwest, there's a lot of courses and a lot of diversity. The land is really good for disc golf with rolling hills and you have people like Nate that's really pushing the sport, it's only going to get bigger and better from here. So I expect to see more courses and bigger and better tournaments in the future come out of the Midwest. Yeah, I like the courses. I enjoy the courses so far. It's definitely going to be a test of patience out there with all the rope. But I think that was his plan, to really test our abilities on the course and give us a great challenge. So that's going to happen for sure.
How long have they been around? The history?
Yeah, I like both the courses. Like I said, there's some diversity, and you have a lot of shape selection. So there's gonna be left to right shots, straight shots, up and over hills, and of course, I haven't played Naughton since I've been back this time, but I'm expecting to see some more rope. Is it gonna be rope this year? Okay, that's gonna be the only course without rope. The other ones I've practiced have been the USDGC style with OB on almost every hole. But yeah, good courses. I don't know what else to say about them. It's gonna be a test out there. It's gonna be a long weekend, and we're gonna see a lot of out of bounds.
I'll let one of the girls talk about the girls' courses, because they're playing different courses, so that can't do that.
We play Bradley Park, which is in Peoria, correct? And it is in a park, so obviously, but it's not on the golf course. It's a public park. Shorter, some elevation. There's a creek that runs along the side, and a lot of basket placements are along the creek, so that comes into play. But Bradley Park is actually a great course for, very friendly for beginners. It's shorter, and you can play it really quickly. So great for beginners, also challenging for us. And I also play Westwood, which, how do you say?
We'll just call it Westwood.
Okay. It has another name that's hard to pronounce. And that one is, also has a creek running through it, which comes more into play. And lots and lots and lots of elevation through the woods. So very challenging. Also a lot of baskets on cliffs. So you're putting maybe towards a cliff that's going to drop off, a little shorter, so it could also be beginner friendly. And then I have yet to practice Sunset Hills, so if you'd like to know about that, and where's that located? Pekin. Would you like to talk about it? Okay.
That's awesome. I think that's all the time, right? It's not temporary. Yeah. So if you don't feel like walking, go out there and grab a golf cart and play out there. It's more open than and a little bit longer, a lot of laying up because of the water hazards and the ball golf or traditional golf greens are lead as well as their fairway. So it's a lot more placement golf, and you just because it's open doesn't mean it's necessarily easier. There's a lot of placement and parkour.
Hey, while you're up there, you and Katrina are two of the furthest throwing women in the sport of disc golf. Do these courses suit your style, or do you feel a little bit more equalizing?
The three we play, I think two of them do. But Westwood, I don't think it helps at all to throw far there. It's very tightly wooded, with creeks running through. I actually probably on the 18 holes throw a putter or mid-range on about 15 of them. So there's not a lot of driver shots out there, strictly because of the tight wood. If you hit a tree with a driver, it's going to dramatically kick. And like Katrina said, there's a lot of cliffs out there, and it's not very grassy, it's more mud and dirt. So with the rain, it's very slippery, and you do not want to be down the cliffs. So this weekend, travel there, just safe to the middle, and try not to go down those cliffs.
I've got a question for Nate. Nate, this event is history of the sport. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges that you faced in creating such a massive event in the greater area?
Yeah, the biggest challenge with the event was managing 10 courses. That, in terms of putting the courses together and tournament ready, is very challenging. It's okay for you buddies to play a course, but to these players here, we have to have every branch, every piece of debris out of the fairway, and we have to do so much. And so there are over 5,000 hours of volunteer labor at the courses getting them ready. Half of that is at Westwood Park in Morton. And so
as far as the richest tournament?
yes. So yeah, this year's tournament is actually, as Brian here asked me, is the richest tournament in the history of the sport. Approximately $125,000 purse for the professional payout. We have 700 players, I think 48 states, and 4 or 5 countries. 5 countries. We're using 10 courses. The competition is over 3 days. The pros will play 4 rounds and a final 9. We hope to give St. Jude a nice check for $20,000. That's been our goal for the event. And so high-level stats right there. We've just been phenomenal. We have the sponsor list is over 200 sponsors, and so we've really been able to get a lot of sponsors, which has been phenomenal. So, did you want to say something about the mom? Yeah. Just don't say anything about your ego. So, Paul wants to talk about the course in the evening or so.
Yeah, this is my first time here in the greater Peoria area. I've never played this tournament, but I've heard a lot about it. And I've heard a few things about the courses, but Big Mountain, for example, it's probably one of my favorite courses I've ever played anywhere in the world. So that means a lot, and I wish we could play it more, Nate. But I understand why. But I mean, to come here and play for my first time this year, and the size of the event that you're putting on, and having amateurs to pros, all different skill levels, and having the biggest purse of all time, it's a great honor to be here, and to be here at this conference, and to be able to talk about it. And I just want to praise Big Mountain and Northwoods. It's 2 great permanent courses, and that I'm excited to play. I'm sure we all are. And I won't talk about your course. Thank you.
So I think, as someone who manages social media for a living, I know he runs the Facebook page for the event. Yeah, we have to read a lot of comments. They're not always great. They're not always bad. Sometimes they're wonderful. But I think one thing we've heard a lot is just questions about the course design. So I just wanted to ask Nate, what was the process, and how did you go about designing the courses, and what were your goals with
that? Fortunately, we have a lot of permanent courses here, but we did add 2 temporary courses at Kennel Lake and Morton, and then I added an 18-hole course at Lake Eureka, and then I changed half the other courses around to make them more what we wanted. And so, Paul, we keep talking about this Lake Eureka course, and so the intention with the tournament, it is the richest tournament of all time. I wanted it to be high pressure. Most disc golf tournaments, you don't have to worry about putting out of bounds. You're on a green. Typically, if you miss your putt, you can probably make the next one unless you go way past the basket. So at this tournament, I wanted to be high pressure. There are baskets near water, baskets near out of bounds. I wanted the richest purse to reflect higher pressure stakes. I wanted them to think more. I wanted it to be more about strategy and less about throwing as hard as you can. And so these courses, even though some are a little long, they're not as long as some of the courses that they've played. We just came back from the World Championship, and those courses were very long. And these courses are not as long, but they make you think more, And so I wanted people to, some of the comments I've heard, Nate, I've seen that caddy guy and I'm scared out of my mind. And that's what I wanted. So I want people to actually think about the shots and think about what could happen if it goes wrong. So that was my strategy with the Lake Eureka course. High pressure, high stakes. I want the players to be nervous. I want them to be on the edge of their seats and, not just shooting course records all the time, like Mr. Macbeth seems to do it, and Nico, and these guys are just so good. So I'm giving them a hard test. So the rest of the courses, for the AMs, we typically try to make it obviously less challenging and more fun. That is our strategy there. So.
Speak a little bit about Sunday, the finale,
Sure.
how things are going to wrap up on the final day, and who you expect to have.
Sure. So we have 4 rounds of competition for the pros, 3 for the amateur players. On Sunday afternoon, approximately 1:30, we will start the finals at Lake Eureka Park, right there in the center of the town on the big lake. And we expect probably 2,000 people out there. We have bleachers set up, grandstands, all kinds of stuff. The top 4 male professional players will play in that, the top 4 females, and then a few other divisions, but these will be the showcase divisions. And the course around the lake is phenomenal. It's great for spectators, great for kids to come out and see these guys throw a disc, a long ways. Paul and Nico can throw a disc, 600 feet. And so, and the girls, they can throw it, 400 feet. So they're as impressive. So you'll get to see that. You'll get to see a lot of fun out there. So that's about 1:30 at Lake Eureka. The men will probably tee off around 2:15 and the girls right at 1:30. So we encourage anyone to come out there. It's very spectator friendly, very media friendly. We'll have live coverage on Smashbox TV all weekend, so you can tune in on YouTube. We have 3 other video companies here capturing every minute of the footage. So.
Question for Nico and Katrina. So you guys have won this event multiple times. Now you're facing up against world champion players. Are there any changes to your game and strategy that you want to talk about?
Ladies first.
Unfortunately for me, I played the last 2 years, and I played at McNaughton and Northwoods, and this year I won't be playing at either. So I didn't find that out till I think it was Sunday night. I looked at the schedule, kind of wondering which days I would play which of those 2 courses, and come to find out I wasn't playing either of those. For me, I thought I would have an advantage coming in playing the courses, knowing them pretty well. So for me, as he talks more about these courses, I think that it will be more about your mental game more than anything. And so I'm going, obviously, you want to play well, but I think staying mentally strong will be an advantage this weekend with, like Paige talked about, the muddy and the hills at Westwood will be challenging. So dealing with that mentally strong, I think, will be more important than anything. But actually, the last few years, I think I've had a couple world champions. So I think it'll be a little tougher this year, of course, but just try to, like I said, stay mentally tough through the week.
I think there's going to be a lot more strategy involved this year with so much rope being in a couple of the courses. But over at McNaughton, I think it's going to be the same style of play as years before. It's just you can attack the fairways and attack the greens a little bit more compared to Lake Eureka. Yeah, so I think, like Kat was also saying, that the mental challenges of sometimes you're going to have a couple bad holes and just kind of stay in there, stay in the pocket, and have good mentality the whole way through without getting too frustrated that you take a big number on a hole, because I think everyone is eventually gonna have a couple bad holes at this tournament. So just staying focused on the goals at the end and keeping the strategy, staying in bounds is probably the most important part of this tournament that I can see with the practice rounds so far. And it's going to be a fun competition. This tournament is bringing out the world's best competitors, so it's a great honor to just play the sport that I love and be able to compete with the world's best, like Paul Macbeth and Schustrick, Dave Felberg, Ulibarri. The list goes on and on with all the great players that are in the sport right now, and it's amazing just to see all the amazing disc golf that's going to happen this weekend. Hopefully the spectators are going to really enjoy the show. Anything else? Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one last question. It's actually for all 4 of you. I just want to know, give me the top 3 discs that you have been using in practice for these courses that you play.
Putters. Make putts. Keep making putts. And keep throwing in bounds. That's the most important shots and most important disc you can throw is the ones that land in bounds.
You can give the names of the discs if you want.
The most common 3 discs that I throw, definitely a destroyer for the longer holes, just a long distance driver for the open holes, such as McNaughton has a few, and Northwood and Lake Eureka is really open. So destroyer is probably my main distance driver. I throw a Thunderbird a lot through the woods and things like that. For the longer wooded holes, I need control and stay out of the brush and then the probably most common disc I throw is the Rock 3, whether it's a Champion Rock 3 or a Big Pro Rock 3, because there are little shorter shots and the up shots that we do have on the longer holes. I'll be throwing a rock there. And of course, the putter. Big Pro, like I said, he's throwing a putter a lot, and every hole we're pretty much going to need our putter. So.
Same kind of strategy. I throw the PA1 putters. The M4 is probably the disc I'll throw, I would say, over 50% of the time. And then also an M2, which is mid-range. And then sounds like, because I get to practice Sunset Hills, but it'll be an overstable driver to stay in bounds, more than likely. So my D1 and sometimes probably my H1.
Well, I'm basically going to echo Katrina because we were both sponsored by Prodigy and both throw exactly the same shots, almost more or less. So M4 is definitely going to be about 70% of my shots this weekend. I'm just trying, which is a mid-range, a very straight mid-range, which no matter what company you throw, you need a straight mid-range for these courses. You just need to stay in the middle and don't worry about getting too far. I don't know about their courses, but our courses, it's not about who's throwing far, it's about who's staying in the middle. So I would say M4 or straight mid-range, and PA4 for me for the putter, and D1 at Sunset Hills where it's more open and long.
Okay, Paige, since you're up there. Both you and Paul have been very successful this year. You're having record-breaking years. Just this tournament and the next tournament are the last 2 national tour events. You both have set yourselves up very well to take home national tour titles. What would it mean for wins this weekend?
For me, I'm a little bit behind because I skipped one. I've won 4, I believe, this year, and you take your top 5 events. So I'm behind 1 comparatively to everybody else. So I need to get at least in the top 3, I believe, and then that'll be my 5th one, and that way Hall of Fame, which is our final one, I'll have less pressure. So I think this weekend, all of us want to win the National Board Champion. It's a cumulative award at the end of the year showing how consistent you were throughout the whole year instead of just one tournament. So every tournament matters, and I think this one coming down the stretch, it's going to put a lot of people either in position or take them out of position. So I think this one is definitely important and imperative to place at least on the top 3.
As far as the National Tour Series, this one is, like you said, one of the last 2. So it is to put yourself in a great position for the final one in Georgia. But I've never played here before, so I don't have any expectations on what I will shoot or how I will finish. But I just want to go out there and play the best of my abilities and hopefully come out near the top somewhere. But yeah, 7 national tours. It's a long series. She said you have to have 5 of the 7 in order to count. So far, I think I have 3 of the 5. So I'm in a really good position, and I just need a strong finish with either this one or Georgia. So it's really just play well and try to do a good job and manage these courses. But yeah, it'll be a big honor, just to finish up there with these players that I played with today.
questions?
Yeah, I got one. Typically, how many rounds of practice will you guys get in to prepare for a tournament like this during the week?
For myself, I just came straight from Columbus, so I was here Sunday night, and I played each course after today. I'll play each course at least twice, minus Lake Eureka, because I don't want to lose any disc in the water.
How many did you lose yesterday?
2 on the second hole. So, yeah, at least 2 rounds, but when we say rounds, we're throwing multiple drives, multiple upshots from different spots. So, I mean, it could be, we could play 1 round, but it could be like 5 drives, 5 upshots. So a lot of practicing on the courses for about 3 or 4 days, at least for myself. And I'm sure a lot of these players are the same way. So, I mean, hours and hours of practice before this tournament starts.
About the same for everybody.
Yeah, about the same. 3 to 5, 6 rounds, and lots of putting. We have a basket at our house too, so we'll be putting before and after the rounds as well. So I feel like that's the most important part always is making the putts.
The IOC just recognized the World Flying Disc Federation and said it might include disc golf in a future Olympic event. How does that make you guys feel as the top players in the game right now, and who do you feel outside of America could give you guys the best run for the medals?
Of course, Finland is really picking up on disc golf, and they're really running with it. I think besides the USA, Finland is kind of the most recognized country that's really taking disc golf to that next level, and I see a lot of juniors and a lot of kids that are really getting into the sport, and I'm sure they're practicing a lot and mimicking what they see on YouTube by watching Paul McBeth or whoever their favorite player could be, Katrina or Paige. You know, and there's a lot of girls that are getting into it as well overseas. So it's just a really amazing time to be a part of disc golf and watch the progression over the years. I've been playing for over 10 years now, and I've seen a lot of waves and the way that disc golf is impacting people's lives. It's really making changes for the better. It's giving people something to push for, and you know, they want to be on top, and they're going to have to practice a lot and use what they see on YouTube as fuel to get them to push to that next level. Because right now is the most competitive time of all time in the world of disc golf. Everybody wants to win, and a lot of players are doing some amazing things out there on the course. So these countries are really picking up on it across the world. It's pretty amazing to see that. Any other questions? Did I answer that directly, or did I just go on a ramble? Here you go.
I think also with applying sports in general for the Olympics, I think it's a unique sport to potentially include because it's exciting. It's something that you don't see, in terms of mainstream, and that's what I think is better for the Olympics. When you talk about putting baseball in the Olympics, we have 162 games, and I'm a diehard baseball fan. So I think this, sports are very exciting, and I think it's great that they were able to recognize that, and certainly, think that the U.S. would put together a phenomenal team if that ever did happen. But that would be something that would be very exciting for the sport for sure. So, yeah. Yes.
I just wanted to elaborate on what you asked about other countries being involved. For example, we play in the President's Cup, which is similar to the Ryder Cup in golf, where we play a match play against the Europeans. And in most years, what is it? How many years have we won? 7 consecutive wins the U.S. has. However, the last few years have been more close than they've ever been. And I think if there were to be an Olympic team, I think that it would be, what am I trying to say? Finland and Sweden, and I could even say Germany and Switzerland and Norway also have all the Denmark. The country's players are stronger than I think they've ever been, and we're seeing it, I think, every year that we go back. And to elaborate on what Nico said, I did clinics in Finland, And there are these probably 13 to 16-year-old boys who are like, teach me to throw further, and they're throwing their mid-ranges further than I'm throwing their drivers. It's like unbelievable how fast it's growing and how great they're getting. So.
Anything else you want to add?
Any other questions, disc golf guy?
Trying to help out, nope.
Let me just talk about who I think the favorites are for the tournament, not to, I was just gonna try to get the four of you to say who are my four favorites, so that's all I want to say. So.
Is it on?
I can't say for sure, but I feel like I've pretty much wrapped it up here, unless anyone else has questions. On behalf of the PDGA, again, I want to thank the City of Peoria for being so accommodating, so wonderful for this disc golf tournament, and St. Jude too. We're always excited to give you guys money. So hopefully we get that check for you. I'm sure that we will. And unless anyone else has anything.
I play about 40 tournaments a year all over the country and world, and there's only a few places where the cities are this excited about disc golf, so I just want you to know how much we appreciate you guys getting behind our event and supporting us, because it means a lot to us as well.
I want to add one last thing. At 3 p.m. today, for anyone interested, there is a pro clinic. I believe it's Jeremy Coling, Johnny McRae, Dana Beachy, and Liz Carr, Sibian. They will be out. It's free to go. Anybody can go, and they're going to be teaching you, how to improve your game, different parts of the game, and that's at Northwood Park, which I've also heard called Morton. Also, is it in Morton?
It is in Morton.
So that's by the way. Okay. And then at 4:30 there is a special event. It's a doubles disc golf event, and it is, I believe, Jeremy Coling again, Kale LaVisca. Who's the third one? And Michael Johansson, who's a Charlotte player, and we'll be heading there next week for yet another giant tournament. But they will be paired up with 3 local professional players to do a doubles match. Well, yeah, one of them is Nate, so good luck, buddy. And that'll be really fun to watch, and come out and hang out and learn how to get better at the game at the clinic, and then stick around and watch the battle of the doubles. I think that should wrap it up.
I have one more thing to say before we all leave. I think it's really important that we recognize people like Nate, the tournament directors across the country that are going the extra mile and doing the fundraising and organizing group efforts to put these type of tournaments on. So I really appreciate what Nate has done for the disc golf community around here and around the world to raise the bar for what a tournament could be and keep building on that for the future. So I appreciate it. Thanks, Nate. I hope you can.
Just want to say thanks again for coming out. Just so blessed to be able to be here in City Peoria, City Morton, St. Pete, and all the cities that we're using in City Eureka. Please come out and watch. The players are very approachable, active rounds. And they've competed as long as they shoot well. They're very approachable, but just kidding. But as I said, thank you so much. Please tune in. We have live coverage all week on Smashbox TV. We'll have tweeting by the PDJ meeting manager. We'll have Facebook updates, #Ledgestone Open. These guys, as I said, are incredible with the Frisbee disc. Just come out and watch them. You won't believe truly what you can see these guys and ladies do. They are